What up? Liz Wilcox here, the host of Sales Email Summit. Before we get into this interview, I just want to let you know that this summit is sponsored by List Gadget. ListGadget.com is how you can turn every email into a growth machine. We've got embeddable polls, leaderboards, referral programs, and more. And I know this sounds crazy, but you can do it in about 30-second startup time. Now, right now, we are offering $10 off the starter plan to make it just $9 a month. So if you're into adding email polls, reactions, subscriber leaderboards, and more to your email newsletter, head on over to listgadget.com. All right, let's get into this episode. Cassidy, I am so excited to hear from you. Let us know, what is the most interesting email or sales email that you have sent out in the last 6 to 12 months?
Hey, Cassidy Tuttle here. I help people grow beautiful succulents even if they don't live in the perfect climate. The best sales email that I've sent out in the last 6 months was actually a product collaboration that I did with our sister brand, Snappy Pots, and a nonprofit called Nerd HQ. Just to give you a little overview of the product, it was a set of 2 indoor succulents in Snappy Pots planters. And these planters come with charms that you can swap out to kind of create new designs. So similar to Crocs, but pots. And we did it as a fundraiser for Mental Health Awareness Month. So with each sale, we would make a donation to Nerd HQ. And Nerd HQ is a nonprofit that provides free mental health resources and therapy to adults who can't afford it. Some of the charms that we included in the bundle were related to mental health. So we had Best Mom Ever, because we did it around Mother's Day, Happy Heart, Healthy Mind, I Am Loved, I Am Enough. And then there were also just some kind of generic stars and arrows and other bright, fun shapes. This email was a little bit different than my typical weekly emails, which usually include tips about how to care for your succulents. And sometimes I'll include links to succulents or tools, but typically it's links to my blog posts or YouTube videos or social media posts. A big part of my brand has always been sharing my personal experiences with succulents combined with research. So I've shared successes, failures, mistakes, pretty much everything you can think of. And in everything I do, I try and come across in a personal and friendly way. So as if you were talking to a family member or a neighbor or friend. And my goal is really to help people realize they can absolutely keep succulents alive, and it doesn't have to be stressful and you don't have to be perfect at it. I've also been through a variety of challenging mental health experiences over the past 10 years, including postpartum depression and severe anxiety. And my plants have played a role in helping me through those challenges, as has therapy and medication. And I've shared snippets about this in my emails throughout the years. And I've had people respond to let me know they've had similar experiences and they feel more connected with me because of these things that I've shared. So when the opportunity to promote this Snappy Pots mental health bundle came up, I knew it was something I wanted to share with my audience. And frankly, I was a little bit nervous about how it would go, but I got the email written up and sent out. And the first email I sent brought in 10 sales. And then I sent out 3 other emails over the next 3 weeks promoting the bundle. And we ended up selling 38 bundles total. So for this first email, which is the one that I was kind of focused on, the subject line was, I'm so excited about this. And then in terms of open and click rates, it had a 38% open rate and a 1% click-through rate. So that click-through rate is lower than my usual newsletter click-through rate, which is typically around 3 to 4%. But since the email was exclusively selling this product, it's similar to what I've experienced with sales emails in the past. When I do my weekly newsletter, I actually have several different articles or items that I link to, and so I feel like that's why the click-through rate is usually a little higher. I always include photos in my emails, so in this one I included a couple photos of the product bundle. And then I had links at the beginning and the middle and the end. Like I said, I usually include several links in my emails, so that's not unusual. Although these links either went to just the product bundle or to Nerd HQ. So it went two different places, but the bundle was the main focus. In the content of the email, I shared a few lines about my personal experience with mental health and plants and how plants have helped me improve my mental health, but then also mentioned that getting a therapist made a huge difference for me. But I also know that getting a therapist can be expensive, and just the burden of paying for therapy can prevent people from going to therapy. And that is why with this bundle, a portion of each sale would be donated to Nerd HQ because they provide those free therapy services. The timing of the
Cassidy,
email.
I love this so much. Yeah, giving back to a cause, making sales, connecting with customers. Chef's kiss, baby. Now, one quick question. I'm wondering, was there anything you learned from this sale, from this campaign and this partnership that you're going to take forward or you already have taken forward into other sales campaigns and into even just connecting with your audience?
One of the things I've learned is actually something that has come up for me before, but with this, I was so excited because I felt like this was a good cause. People were going to get succulents and they were going to be helping out others. But just those features, so to speak, weren't actually enough to sell the product. And I think I overestimated that a little bit, where I think I needed to include more personal stories or different ways for my audience to connect. So while I did share some personal things, I don't think I really played into that as much as I could have or talked about that as much. So, I shared that I had some challenges with mental health things over the past 10 years, but it wasn't quite personal enough to where people who hadn't been on my list for a long time made as much of a connection, I think, as they could have. So moving forward or in future sales, I know that I need to focus less on like the features or exactly what's being offered and more about the meaning behind it. And not to say that that wasn't in there at all, but I think I really focused on like, oh, you're going to get these succulents and they're super cute and it's going to help a good cause. And I think that worked, but I think if I put a little bit more personality into it or, focused more on the mental health side of things or how succulents can benefit your mental health, I think that would have helped even more.
Okay, I want you listening to hear what Cassidy just said. It was really subtle, but focus on the meaning behind what you're selling. For example, Cassidy just said, oh, if I would have focused a little bit more on the meaning, if I would have shared a little bit more of how this meant to me, I probably could have made more sales, right? And for example, I have a $9 a month membership called Email Marketing Membership. And I talk a lot about in my sales process and the journey I take customers on of like, why the heck would I give away so much for $9, right? You might think, oh, that doesn't really matter. But when you're making a buying decision, people want to buy from people. People want to know why you are in the game you're in, why you created this product, why you're in this industry, why you give a damn. Because in return, they will give a damn. Excuse my language. Anyway, Cassidy, this is amazing. I love it. Thank you so much. So many awesome insights. Remember, y'all, don't be afraid to, share the meeting. Now, Cassidy, if people want to get on your succulents and sunshine email list, how can we join your email list today?
Thanks, Liz. And if you guys want to learn how to keep your succulents alive and especially how to learn how to tell if your succulent needs water or not, go to succulentsandsunshine.com/Liz, Liz.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I am feeling inspired to do more good works with my email list. When I heard Cassidy's idea for the summit, I just knew she had to be in here because wow, what an amazing story and what an amazing cause. So if you want to do more good with your email list, if you want to see what the freak this looks like, you already know you got to steal this email with the Steal These Sales Emails template pack. It's a plug and play collection of every single email from the summit, including this one. This one is going to be rewritten into a simple template you can customize in minutes. Okay? No decoding, no guesswork, just copy, tweak, and send, and make sales for you and for others, just like Cassidy and everyone else in this summit. Listen, it's $35. That is a steal of a deal. Get it? Steal These Sales Emails template pack, $35. Link in the show notes.